everyone, it's Stuart here again. Welcome to the proptrade.com. We are the clearest, most transparent prop trade company out there. That's what we believe in our core. So come and join us if you I think you're a successful trader or can be a successful trader trading simulated accounts. Buy an account and then the world is your oyster thereafter. I've got a confession to make. I've messed up with the time change with the European clocks went back at the weekend, and I've miscalculated the ECB announcement. It's actually in an hour's time. I thought it was 12:15. It's not. It's 1:15 my time. So it's actually not in 15 minutes time. It's actually in an hour's time. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We do have some US data that's due and will probably be issued. The core PC price is ahead of the key core PC price index tomorrow. That's the most important. That's the more important reading. We might get some GDP numbers as well. It's not clear if the GDP numbers will come out, but we'll see if this actually comes out. We've had some members, civil servants in the US, although they're furloughed, some have been brought back in, skeleton crew, to actually produce some data. So not everybody is flying blind. Obviously, last night we had the Powell's press conference in particular moved the markets. As we said last night, it was the surprise that we had Schmidt voting for a no change in the rate. Consensus was obviously that 25 basis point cut, which we got. And sorry, let's go back to us. Just so much stuff on here. Let's go back to yesterday. In case you missed it, there we are. We cut rates to 4.00%, 25 basis points from 4.25. So it's in that key range now. The other extreme, Stephen Myron, the president's man on the board, went for 50 basis points and talked about more to come. You know, he's looking at least 100 basis points for next year. But quite clearly and quite positive, well, I'm saying positive, quite definitely at the press conference, Powell was very clear in his announcements about, we are data dependent. There is no guarantee that December is a guaranteed rate cut, much as the market had anticipated that. And yesterday, well, this time last week, it was about a 96% chance of a 25 basis point cut from the Fed at their December meeting on the 9th and the 10th of December. Wednesday, the 10th of December, they will announce their next rate expectations of it. Well, still looks like a rate cut, but we're now down to 70%. Yesterday, before the Fed announcement, it was around about 84%. And these are key because this is skin in the game, these CME futures. These are real, cash on the table for contracts about when what the interest rates are going to be like in the future. So this is, plenty of money and plenty of contracts open on this price. So 70% chance of a 25 basis point cut. You can see here, 20 to 30% chance or 29.3% chance of no cut from where we are now, staying at the 4 to 425 area. No other bets are on the table at the moment, if we want to call them bets. As you can see here, where we are. All right, hasn't it got the old one? It's the one above. Say we were 95% a month ago of a rate cut. Now it's down to 70%. So quite a significant change in market expectations based on what Powell said yesterday. So there we go. Dollars strengthened on that. The other, obviously, there's the news is just absolutely pouring out at the moment. Obviously, Trump's big Asian tour is over. He's banged all these trade deals together, everywhere from Vietnam to Japan to Cambodia to South Korea. Have all penned deals with the man, the great negotiator that he likes to see himself as. Obviously, he's working very hard. You can't knock him on that. He loves his travels. He even talked about looking forward to seeing Kim Jong-un while he was out there. That obviously wasn't going to happen at that short notice. But Anyway, yeah, moving rapidly on, the president certainly is. So yesterday, obviously, we had this cut from the Fed. We had a cut earlier in the day from the Bank of Canada as well. That was very much also expected, 25 basis points. So the Canadian rate, here we are, Canadian rate down to 2.25, just north of the border, south of the border. Powell still hanging on a wee bit at 4%. So US rates are still relatively high compared to the major industrialized economies. We had the other key number yesterday, that big drawdown in oil inventories, gasoline inventories, the official EIA inventories here. Yesterday, there we are, 6.85 million for crude oil inventories. Home data continues to hold up quite strongly. Pending home sales were a little bit weaker than expected, but still holding up in the top half of expectations. And expectations of mortgage rates being cut in the US as rates come down has cooled a wee bit, but still new home sales, existing home sales, and these pending home sales still remain relatively strong in the US. Coming to today, we had that no change from the Bank of Japan, remain at 0.5%, or how the President of the United States would like interest rates to be down at 0.5%. There, obviously, we got this new prime minister in Japan. Got on really well, apparently, with Mr. Trump, and more importantly, today, Trump and Xi Jinping met for 90 minutes. It was a bit shorter than many were expecting. Some were talking about a 3-4 hour meeting. It was only, it was still significant time out of both presidents' obviously schedules. In South Korea, very prestigious for South Korea to host this meeting. Some things were not on the table, not discussed. Taiwan was very much avoided. The issue about the high-end NVIDIA chips were also avoided. Obviously, China has relinquished on this export ban on rare earths, which is what the Americans were pressing for. That was obviously all being sorted out earlier in the week. So it was a bit of not a non-event. Obviously, it's symbolic that they're meeting, they're shaking hands, the press take the photographs. So that's all very, very key. Ramping up more positivity. So, sentiment has lifted quite significantly. And when this current regime of tariffs run out, China will, goods imported from China will only have 47% tariffs applied to them. So how long and continually the US consumer continues to purchase these Chinese imports with these massive 47% import tariffs on. Obviously, the threat from Trump was 147 or 150% tariffs. That's not happening. So he has backed down again, but he's got his way. He's got the rare earth. So he'll see it as a positive. He'll see it as a win. And obviously, when he gets back to the US, there'll be lots. The numbers will be mind-boggling. He will say that he is being invested into the United States by all these Asian countries following this week tour of the Asian economies. Meanwhile, back in Washington, the country is still in lockdown. Lockdown, or the government is still shut down. I think it's day 29 today. Things are getting really squeezy for the very poorest, those requiring food stamps. So literally, people, are running out of food, running out of income to purchase food. So that puts pressure very much on the Democratic side of the argument. The Democratic states that tend to be the poorest states, and those people will be looking on pressure, very miffed with what's going on in Washington, obviously. So whether they'll get a deal before Thanksgiving, who knows? Remember, Thanksgiving, major key holiday, probably the most important holiday as far as your average American's concerned after July the 4th. But that's still a month away, isn't it? It's the end of November. So people were talking about, yes, it will probably run on to the end of October, this government shutdown, but you're already a month in, and for the president to be out of the country for a whole week while the government shut down, that's many would say that's not good but he'd obviously push back on that, given the investment that he's acquired for the United States. So anyway, politics as ever, swirling around the markets. Meanwhile, I say the cut or the no change from the Bank of Japan. The new prime minister has meant massive pressure on the yen again. So here's the euro dollar against the yen on the hourly chart today, and it's continuing to rally through 153 to 154.20 or 154.15 at the moment. So the yen continues its weak run. If we got the daily here even against the weaker dollar. So we were, I can't remember what we were. We were long this one. I think we got stopped out earlier in the week. Yeah, we were out for 50 points, I think. I can't remember whether they were long or short. Obviously, long this one, but got stopped out in the retrace earlier in the week. But we've had we've had 2 consecutive losing weeks, but we've had a stonking week this week. We're very much back in the money. We're up 1,200 points at the moment. And obviously, it's the end of the month as well, so I'm going to close out some of those positions. But yen continues to weaken here against the dollar. Pound yen, which I'm quite personally interested in. We went to 204, 205 earlier on in October. We've held over the key 200 level. We went down to test it yesterday again, but we're back up again today. 203 for the pound yen, the widowmaker, as we call it in trading circles. So the jump up or the jump down for the yen on the announcement of Takaichi taking over as the first female prime minister in Japan has continued. Basically, we've been down to test. We haven't filled the gap that happened on that weekend, the Friday to the Monday, and so we're still bid. As I say, I'll take some cash to Japan or off to Japan for a couple of weeks in the middle of November, so that's good for me personally. This weaker yen and all tourists obviously in Japan. So 203 for the guppy. Euro yen also very much bid, very much in the upper half of the Bollinger Band. It's the same jump up. It's been stronger. The euro, sterling's been relatively been weaker, therefore weaker against this weaker yen currency as well. And new highs for the euro, 178.70 here. If we go up to the weekly chart, you see how strong or how weak the yen is and how strong the euro is against it. So it's been a very, very strong run all year, basically. Since here on the weekly chart, 7th of April, we pushed up into the upper half of the Bollinger Band consolidation into the beginning of the summer, and then just ripped away as the euro bid and the yen weakened. So that's just a one-horse race on that one. And that break here, the resistance there at 174 was breached, and then it just came back down. But then here, so we went into October very, very strongly, and yen remains quite weak. My shirt's not on properly. Always bugs me. So hope you're well, guys. Let's just see if we've got any comments from anybody. Not today. Weak yen. As I say, if we go back to that's the Bank of Japan story. GDP from France was better than expected. We've had some some strong French banks, or a lot of banks in Europe reporting earnings today. Standard Chartered Bank actually on some shares in Standard Chartered done better than expected. A lot of the French banks have also done better than expected. Inflation in Spain still looking quite hot. Unemployment in Germany flat and in line with expectations. It's not picking up at all. GDP, Italy is missed, and the CPI data, the inflation data across Germany, has come in as expected. A little bit hotter, but more or less in line with expectations. So overall GDP was better than expected out of Europe year on year. 1.3%. It's not massive. It's not as good as it was last quarter, but it's better than expected by one whole tick. And there's rest of that German inflation numbers to come shortly. Let's have a look at this. GDP data should have come out now. It's at 1:15. And I just trim the filters. If I just look at today, and I just look at the two bears. There we are. Apply that. Takes out some of that. We'll get some of this GDP data. Still 10 minutes. Oh, I thought it was. It must be 1/2. Sorry, it's not 1/2. I thought it was 1/4. Okay, still 10 minutes to go to this German data. And I'll say those of you that were looking to join me for the ECB rate decision, which is very much not going to change, a bit like it's about as nailed on as the Japanese announcement is, but obviously less. Well, still lots of, I'm going to say, less politics involved, but the chaos in France has been abated. The what was expected to be a Kim Wilders potentially taking control in Holland hasn't happened. In the Netherlands hasn't happened. So the centrist party there has regained, has come out as the biggest party. Very much a coalition approach in many of the European countries, and Holland is no different to any of the others. So see how that impacts the euro later on. I don't think I'll be here for another hour for this live. So those of you who want to watch Trade the Euro live, I apologize. We'll still have a look at short-term trading. If you are interested, I'll show you what I've done this morning on the DAX. We had a good start to the DAX this morning, around the open again, using our mean reverting strategy. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So euro here obviously bid against the yen, euro dollar. Sorry, it's the yen, isn't it? Let's go back to the euro now. Euro with all that data that's been dropping out. Euro, what's the euro dollar? There we are. Euro dollar flat. It's sort of range bound the last few weeks. As you can see there on that weekly chart. We've got the hourly chart today. Moved significantly lower here. Significantly lower last night. On Powell's comments, strengthening the dollar. We went all the way down to 115.78, so breaching the 116 area quite significantly yesterday. We recovered into close last night and had a stronger start to the Asian session, but then this morning we've rolled over again. These are the hourly charts, remember, on the euro, guys. And we've been down all morning again. So there's actually, it wouldn't have gone. That's breach. So that would have gone long there. That's taken you to target one, and then it's reversed. So we've got target one from here to here, and then this has gone short again there at 9 o'clock this morning. And we've three strong candles to the downside. So the third one forming. We've got three black soldiers there. So continuation trade to the downside from the the higher time frame, but the trend is down. We're in the underside of the Bollinger Band there. You see we can't hold the break into the upper half. So down this morning on the hourly time frame. If we look at the 5-minute time frame, you are wanting to trade this around the news. Look, there we go. It's pretty straightforward again. Confirmation of that higher time frame trend. So take the continuation trades to the downside. There's the break of the Bollinger Band. We'll wait for the cross of the stochastics, and there it was there at 10:05. There's target one there at whatever time that was. It's not 10. No, 9:35. Sorry, 15 minutes late. We got to target one, reversed a tad, and then got to target two at 10:30. So nice continuation trade to the downside. There's a touch of the there. Is where it's happened. 10:30, that first touch. And then we've continued lower, haven't we? We've continued to move down. So again, if you'd that hasn't crossed significantly. There's the touch, and then we continue down. So you could have hung on to that one, either got out on the first touch here, and just sort of. So if you closed half it there, closed another 20% on the first touch, and you can see you're with the trend. Remember what the higher hourly trend was, and just hung on till we actually get across. So you could have had another 20% on this one. So out there, and then the cross happens here. So we go long, but this one hasn't worked out, has it? Because of the trends. Remember, the trend has has dominated. So that one, we've gone long here. Didn't quite get to target, and then we cross down again here. Whoops. On there. In fact, the cross would have been there. So we go short again here, closing out this long. So that's a losing trade. But the continuation trade has overridden, the sort of trend have overridden the mean reversion. And we clearly get short again here at 11.40 at 116.24. And we've just sat on that one. Thanks very much. We have crossed here again. And we have touched the outside of the Bollinger Band, but we ride it, guys. This one down. So I'd have my stop loss now at this one, just pushing it down quite aggressively. I had an aggressive move there. See what this date is going to be like at 26, the US date. It's how it impacts the dollar. But we're very much in the money on that one, aren't we? Our mean reverting strategy turning to a continuation strategy, and we've had one losing trades and three very successful trades from 9:30 this morning. Just to flip across to the DAX and I'll show a similar thing set up from earlier this morning. There's some trades I actually took on our platform, our short on this entry here. See the cross there, touch of the outside. So we were short here and got out here on the cross back of the around open on the cross back of the stochastics line. I then went out. Went out with my wife for a cup of coffee. But the strategy continued to play out. So there we've moved higher. Then we've gone short again here. Another continuation trade to the downside. This time, whatever time that was, 9 o'clock. And off we went down, and then out here. Then we cross again. We've gone long here. Get to target one, and then it reverses. So the continue again. So we got another cross there. So we've got target one, then we go cross to go short, down to the outside of the Bollinger Bands again. Then we cross up again, another failure to the upside on that buy there. It's got to target one, then it's run out of steam and it's gone all very choppy, and I'm out. Now I'm not interested in that sideways action there in the DAX. We're now at 11:30. It's all about trading the open really for the opening momentum. We've pushed. I mean, as far as the US Open is concerned, now there's our low of the day, 24,050 basically. See that? 24,050 round numbers coming into play again. So I'll just get rid of all those. But it's guys, it's as with anything, it's not the strategy, it's your application of it, and how much risk you take on the trades. Let's take all these because bloody trend locker. Apparently, there's a major upgrade coming to trend locker as well. Hopefully, it means I can have more lines and more. There we go. I'll just take that off and more layouts available. I've only got the 3. It's like jumping them all off. But anyway, so that's out. Nothing. I'm not interested in that now. It's just a mess. It's chopping around. I made my money earlier on in the day. You can see on our demo account, if we just look at the close, there's a closed positions there. It's one. That one, I forgot to put a stop loss on the second one I entered here this morning. See this 10 o'clock one. And it closed me out because I put the stop loss. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, these were the successful ones as we turned around this morning. Just 0.6 of 1 pip, one lot there. So there we go. Anyway, let's go back to the euro crosses ahead of the Bank of ahead of the ECB. And the other key one is euro pound that I'm personally interested in again. Short. Oh, look at that short right on the top there. You wouldn't have, again, that wouldn't have transpired. I don't think this is 5 minutes. So again, that cross wouldn't have actually happened there. You would have got in there on that one. So that would have been the last major cross in the overbought area. So short down again. If you had your stop loss fee, you'd moved your stop loss down too aggressively, you'd be stopped out as reverse. But it's taken a while, hasn't it? It's not a great one to trade, to be honest, euro pound, certainly not on a scalping basis, but it's worked out on this one today. So that's got to target one. Interestingly, it crossed up on that point. So I might have panicked and I might have panicked and got out at that point. So that would have either been a losing trade if I hung on to it, then got to target. It then went to target 2 as well. So now we're looking for a cross to the upside. So that again, that one hasn't worked out. That would have been you probably got in probably on that one. But see how it's gone against you. That would have stopped me out on that again. So it's not a great. As I say, it's not a great. I want to trade the euro pound. I mean, from a mean reverting strategy, it actually is, but not on a short term basis. It doesn't move enough because it does tend to be channel bound. This one, but at the moment we've got so last few days we've been channel bound, but there has been a relatively strong trend for the stronger euro, the weaker pound. So we're going up in steps. See this hourly chart, very clearly stepped movement, and we're at relatively high levels here at 88. So that's again 88. That's a very weak sterling and strong dollar at 88. So I need to think about perhaps bringing some euros here to the UK on that. Some of my own personal cash that's held in euros might be time to. It certainly is time to move that to sterling at .88 or even 87 something. That's a strong euro pair 88. So yeah, I need to do that. Note to self: move some of your euros to sterling at .88, and this is why. Let me just go to the weekly chart. I'll show you. There we are. That's whatever. We haven't been up here. Interestingly, since April 23, so yeah, certainly time to be bringing some euros over. So those of you in Europe, come to London, come to the UK. Your euros are going much further this Christmas time. Those of you that want to go to the German and Austrian and Hungarian or wherever it is in Europe Christmas fairs, be careful if you're going from the UK. It's going to cost you a wee bit more than normal. So London Christmas fairs looking good value for my European colleagues and friends. So come to London, my friend. I'll show you all a good time. Okay. So euro pounds at .88 ahead of the data. Let's go back to the calendar. The other key thing that's happening later on today is obviously impacting the stock markets. We had three of the Super 7, the Mag 7, as we call them, reporting earnings yesterday. Very, very mixed. The thing that really caught my eye and with everybody else as well was this. They called it a non-tax cash charge of $15.93 billion from the Meta Group, a one-off charge. They're only saying it's a one-off charge for taxes. And Meta bulls were saying it's just a technical issue, but 16 billion in one quarter. And why is it only impacting Meta if it's a technology tax charge because of the one big beautiful bill that Trump has pushed through? It must have an impact eventually on the other big high earning corporations as well, but certainly very, very mixed in pre-market. When I looked this morning, as I shared on our Discord group earlier as well today, where's the general chat? It's probably been lost, hasn't it? There we are. You see, look, I don't think you can see that. Google's plus 7% pre-market. Meta, Google Alphabet was plus 7%. Meta was negative 7%, and Microsoft was off 3 and a bit percent. Even though their Azure cloud group was up 39%. Microsoft down quite harshly, I thought, after hours. Alphabet, Google up 7%, Meta going in an exact opposite direction, off 7%. Also has an impact on the cash market when we open, but the sigh of relief that's come from the Trump and Xi meeting has lifted sentiment, as you said earlier, and we saw with the Nikkei. We're just looking at the indices. We saw with the Nikkei earlier, and it's got the US ones. The Nikkei earlier, which we are still in. Very much so. That's the weekly. So it's got the daily. There we are. There's our stop loss now, rammed right up under just under today's opening prices. We're in the 4-hour time zone, and I'm right on just under the 20 period moving average on the 4-hour time zone. So ramming our stop loss up now to 50,771 from an entry at 49,687. So a good 1-2% potential gain there on that Nikkei trade. That was out of the money for when we first opened it back on the 20th. I think it was around that's the entry, isn't it? Yeah, I think it was the 20th we got in here, and it was certainly out of the money. Nowhere near the stop loss, but yeah, going great guns now thanks to the weak yen, the new prime minister, and then the Bank of Japan has just helped the move up for the Nikkei. I said DAX is relatively flat here on the negative here on the 4-hour time frame. FTSE, on the other hand, with the weaker sterling, has rallied this week quite significantly. We got as high as 9,760 earlier in the week. We've come off a wee bit this morning, but across the pond, the S&P 500 was flat last night at 6,890. The Nasdaq was up 0.55 of 1%, and the Dow was off 0.16 of 1%. This morning, though, we've done the same thing. This is yesterday's rally. We've come down a wee bit. So the derivative market 6,872, round about where the cash market was, a little shy of the cash market by 20 points on the S&P. So we're down a tad. I would guess we're relatively flat. The Dow 47,464 at the moment. Reversed yesterday, thanks to Jay Powell again. But I was happy with that. We'd had 2 trades, lots of points on that one from our entry all the way down here on the 20th. 2 entries on the 20th, so it's 2 big positions. Lots of points gained. Half out there. Second target for the second trade was out, so that's completely closed. Now as we reverse back through that, and the Nasdaq 26,000. Is holding up here on the derivative market. We got as high as 26,250 this morning. Remember, obviously, it's Friday tomorrow. It's the end of the week. It's also the end of the month. I'll certainly be closing my long October account down 5 trading weeks for October, week 43. It's this week 44. I think it's this week 44, isn't it? Yeah, week 44 coming to a close. It's Halloween tomorrow. It's my wife's birthday on Saturday. So we've got a nice weekend planned. And we start the new month. I won't be doing much in November because I say I'm away for the best part of 3 weeks. We've had a really good run for 2025. So we had those 2 losing weeks in October, consecutive losing weeks, but we bounced back and we're going to be positive for October as well. I'm going to make sure that happens. Never give up. Profit, guys. Don't give too much back. Always manage your risk. Elsewhere, gold continues to wane. Actually, it's gone back up again today a tad, but we've since we broke under the key 4,000 level earlier in the week, we've been sort of rattling around. We've been range bound between 3,900, which we went to test very quickly day before yesterday. Then we broke back over 4,000 yesterday morning, but we came back down as the dollar picked up thanks to Powell yesterday, and we bounced again this morning on the weaker dollar generally, and the worry and the stocks have cooled a tad this morning. So very much range bound since the break of the 4,000. Can we get back over 4,000 with a big strong candle? It looked like it earlier in the week, but lots of the data of the week is out now. So where do we go from here? That's the key question. We've had a massive run. As ever, the shakeout is always more aggressive than the rally up, but double top, head and shoulders, blah blah blah. Call it what you will. The shakeout is happening. So if we just take a step back and look at our daily time frame, we are under 4,000. We are under the 20-day moving average. And 3,900 is our key support area. And below that is 3,700 as far as I'm concerned here on our daily setup. So it's very, very strong run. So technically it's looking for a potential turn here with this strategy. If you just look at the other trend following strategies, you can see the how it's broken down's the wrong word, but got the daily. Well, it has broken down, hasn't it? But a big turn still here. The Heikin-Ashi candles are remain negative. not as negative as they were early in the week, but we still got big bodied candles. Yesterday we had a bit of a wick. We've got a bit of a wick at the moment today as well, but we are still weak. And you can see clearly that 3,900 support level. If you just go back to the more traditional moving average crossing approach, that's also short but chopping around. So there's the 21-day moving average. It went short there on the 30th. Sorry, that's 15 minutes. Remained short here from the 27th, finally breaking under the 21 EMA as it broke under the 20 simple moving average there on the Bollinger Band setup we saw there, and under the key 4,000 level. So again, lots of longs certainly closed out now. Whether there's enough short selling to pull this lower, we need to break 3,900 in my humble opinion, if that's going to be the case. So, but at the moment, I mean, obviously historically it's hugely still massively well bid, and the not only central banks but just general positive sentiment. It's a positive sentiment time of the year for stock markets, perhaps less so for gold, although there is bullion buying for Christmas. The wedding season in Asia tends to be the spring, so that's the next big bullish area. But anyway, short gold under this 21 and 50-day moving average. Billy Bitcoin has had a bit of a rocky week, and we're back to the bottom end of that range now. So we've been down every day this week so far. Looked like we were as a daily, it looked like we were pushing up last week through the key 112,000. We were through the 112,000 again this week, but we've lost that. I've lost my 112,000. Oh, it's because it's on a different setup, isn't it? Moving low. I have to go back to my. I don't want to make a comment. I want to open a layout. The Bollinger Band one is where the line should be. Oh no, it's lost it. Oh, that's 5 minute. Daily, it's still got my anyway. We still got our 12,000. So it looked like earlier this week, 26, looked like we were moving up on Friday. Looked very positive. We'd had a week up, but this week we've gone exactly opposite direction. So we were over the 12,000 still. Everything looking was looking okay earlier in the week. Got to 115, 116,000. But yesterday was a significant sell-off back into the under half of the Bollinger Band, back under the 20-day moving average, back under 112,000. So we're back now today to that 108,000. So we are struggling, as I've been saying for a while, to get over 110, 112,000 to push this to the upside. But the bulls will remain bullish Bitcoin, but at the moment 108,000. I think it was. Let me just see if I can find it again for you. My 2017 tracker of Billy of the Bitcoin rally that year. Where's my little chart? There it is. I think the next key was this weekend basically. So it was the 2nd of November. There you can see. Can you see that? Zoom up. 2nd of November, 2027. So basically, this weekend, the first time we went through 7,000, we went from 6,000. Broke 6,000. Well, what October it had 5,000 on the 12th of October. By the end of the month, we'd added another 8,000, another $1,000 from the 12th to the 20th, 8 days. And then 2 weeks later, 13 days, we were at 7,000. So this time, it was only 2017, guys. It's not that long ago. 8 years ago, Bitcoin first traded through $7,000 for the very first time this weekend, 8 years ago. And here we are worrying because it can't hold 112,000. Do the maths, guys. If you've been a holder since then, congratulations. You've been through a lot of ups and downs. But if you're a believer from 7,000, I take my hat off to you, my friend. So well done. I hope you've managed to liquidate some of that speculation. So hope you're all well. As I say, Bitcoin down. So oil's also had a good move, but just can't hold up in key $62 for WTI can't hold, and we can't get holding on to 65 for Brent. So WTI today again. Again, a bit like crypto last week, we were moving up 24, 25, 26 here on last on Monday, topped and got into that 62 channel again. But since then, we've been down again. That big drawdown yesterday didn't help. And we were back, well, we're actually back over $60 a barrel for WTI, but under the key 62 support level, and Brent under the key $65 level channel support through there. So again, another down day for oil markets, but basically, sort of chart range bound, not a bit directionless. Obviously, lack of inflation data and weaker oil prices. What again, something the president wants: gasoline at the pump for his. It's what people understand their pocket, how it affects their pockets. So Brent under 65, WTI under 62 is the key story. Forex, let me just go back to the calendar. What have we got coming? Final reading of German inflation, 15 minutes. Course, that's come out as well. So the US data, the GDP data, and the German, this is about to come out now. So if I just refresh this, and then I will leave you in peace, and we'll look at the euro announcement on. It's Monday. Today. Tomorrow we're going to do the core PCE price index is due tomorrow, so we'll have a look at that tomorrow afternoon. So where's the US? What's going on? Half an hour to the ECB. I'm not going to the quarter past. I'm going to keep going till then. Confidence in line. Where's that US data go? Oh, it's calling me a liar. Okay, never mind. It's to do with obviously all the data being delayed and changed, and different calendars tell me different things. So sorry about that ECB announcement, but that's coming, or it's incoming. So plenty of. Let's just go back to the DAX and the euro, see where we are ahead of the day. Let's do that, shall we? So the DAX is sideways here on the higher time frame. This week we've been lower, so you can see we're down this week. We rejected the 20-day, so that's that daily. So let's step down the time frame. So the daily's down, the 4 hour is very much sort of chopping sideways though, but we've been down and under the 20 period moving average there from 6 o'clock on the 28th, so day before yesterday. We can't get over it. So the bias 4 hour is down, the 1 hour is down. So if you're taking trades with the trend, you want to be down. And where's the next support? Well, you can see the support, the bottom of the Bollinger Band, right on this big fat round number at 24,000. So if I was you, I'd have a line in there at 24,000 fat round number. Just put it on your chart. As I say, we've been successful again. 1, 2 in our short-term trading on the DAX today. So the 4 hour we saw was down. You can see the 1 hour is down, so we want to be looking to take short trades. But you can the caveat obviously is that we've tested 24,050. So as far as today's concerned, that's a key level going forward. What was this? This was last night when we went into 24,000. So 24,050 is our first support level today. So we've bounced off that in the last hour or so. But we were, as we said before, we were short here on the 5-minute, banked some profit. But you can see that's providing support, isn't it? Boing, 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 boing. We're bouncing off 24,050. It's the bottom of the Bollinger Band. I'm not interested in this because it's chopping around. There might be some channel there to play with here on this short term, so you might get some points in there. 24,100 basically is the top of the channel. 24,050, that's being managed undoubtedly. It's lunchtime in Germany. That's been managed ahead of the ECB, and the German CPI data is coming out and affecting that as well. So selling at 24,100, buying at 24,050 is what's going on there this morning on this 5-minute chart since the decline and the first test of 24,050. So we haven't got quite as low as 24,000 itself. That's the range there on your 5-minute chart. So this is looking to go short if we cross and stop that, but it's such a mess. You can see here we haven't touched the upper Bollinger Band yet, but that's looking to go short on this strategy with a half an hour to the ECB to go. Let's go to the euro. We saw that earlier, didn't we? Or the euro crosses. Going back to the euro dollar, what's that? The most liquid of them all. And as we said earlier, that trend continues, guys. Don't fight it. That's the beauty of trend following. This is a mean reverting strategy, remember. But as we can see, we've had a dip of the upper half of the Bollinger Band, and we've continued to widen. So that can happen. We've got this big waterfall move as we're stuck on the outside of the deviations. Remember, these are 2 standard deviations from average, moving lower, and the VWAP and the Heiken-Ashi will be really nice and clear here on the 4-minute, on the 5-minute time frame for this one. Absolute crescent fall. So there's the break of the Heiken-Ashi down out there because it's gone from a very positive move lower. We've gone green. There's that entry there at 11.40, and thanks very much. Just hang on there or add to your position as the boldness of the move continues, as we've got trying to increase the body size of the candle. So you could easily be adding in these big, strong, negative candles. We had a bit of hesitation here. Nice, strong move there. Even stronger move in the last since 12:15, the last half 40 minutes. Big, strong weakness, strength of dollar, weakness of the euro into the ECB announcement, which is expected to keep rates unchanged. So that's going to be all for me tonight because I've run out of steam. I should have been here for the ECB, so I apologise for that. I might come back for Miss Lagarde's press conference, but we've got 23 minutes still, and I've run out of things to say, my friends, unless you want me to say something else. So we'll be back later today. So we'll be back tomorrow for the price index. Thank you for watching if you were here. If you haven't got an account with us, why not? We are open, we are clear, we are transparent. Come and join us. You can do a 1-step or a 2-step. Phase 1 is one step or phase 1 express, as we call it, is becoming more and more popular. So you got to prove yourself just 1 step, not 2 steps. The challenge, the targets are a bit steeper, so it's 10%. Sorry, it's 12% for a 1-step challenge. The daily loss is 4%. Maximum loss over the period of the trading account is 7%. Remember the leverage on the account, guys, as well. Don't forget leverages. That can come and bite your bottom. You can trade the news, so there's no 2-minute restriction before or after the news. So you can trade the news. That's why a lot of people take the Express challenge. So you've got 12% to get your target. 7% is the maximum loss. You don't want to be losing more than 4% on a daily basis. Then you get, whatever account you buy. At the moment, we've got a 20% discount. If you've used this before, Spooky 20. This is a special discount for Halloween. Gets you a 20% discount on all challenges. So a $10,000 challenge is only $68. 25,000 is our most popular. That's only $140 now, down from 175. 50,000 a bit steeper, 276. Obviously, perhaps double the price of a 25,000 one. But it's a big account, because if you prove yourself with this, that's the account you're playing with when you get funded. Obviously, no target when you're a funded account, so make some profit. 5, 6, 7 days into your trading account, you can get paid the following Friday, and we've paid everybody on a Friday. Tomorrow is payday, and if you've made some money on your funded account, make sure you put your claim in by midnight Universal Standard Time, midnight GMT today, and you should be getting paid tomorrow. Okay, we're very proud of that. So 80% profit share with the Express account. If you're greedy is the wrong word, but if you're a pro, if you've been around a while, one step, a pro account, you get a night up to a 90%. Well, not up to, you get 90% of the profits that you made. We keep 10% and not 20%. So give it a go, my friends. Okay, you got nothing to lose apart from a few $100, if that. Yeah, $156 if you've got a pro $25,000 account, 2-step. Okay. Good luck. I'll see you tomorrow for the price index, the PCE price index, the key measure of inflation that the Fed worry about. Remember, the likelihood now of what was a guaranteed, what looked like a guaranteed rate cut in December is a bit more questionable, but it will probably still happen. It's my call, but what do I know? Anyway, take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. Be good. Stay safe. And may the pips be with you as ever. All the best. Bye-bye.